All right, welcome back to the Artist Connection podcast. This is Matt Kesar here with today's special guest, musician Cliff Hillis. Welcome, sir.
Hey, thanks. Great to be with you.
Yeah, it's good to talk to you again. I met you back in October of last year when you opened up for Smash Palace in New Jersey and did double duty that night, really, because then you shared the stage with Smash Palace as a member of the band right after.
Yes, indeed. That was a fun night, for sure.
Yeah, it sure was. How is that being the opening act? I always envy people that do that. You know, you get your own stuff out there first, and then you're part of the headliner after. Do you like that?
Yeah, no, I love it because I do a lot of solo acoustic gigs, and then I do band gigs, and but the band gigs aren't as often because I have a sort of a rotating lineup, and it's sort of a core, but I'm sort of grabbing friends of mine from other bands and stuff. So any chance that I'm involved in various different bands / projects / whatever. So whenever I have a chance to kind of do my thing and throw it in the midst, I always love that opportunity, and it's an honor to be playing with Smash Palace. So I think we complement each other very well, so it makes for a fun night. We've actually booked a handful of shows doing that same thing, so it's always a pleasure and an honor.
Oh, I love it, and I'm going to be there front and center this Saturday, tomorrow, down at World Cafe Live in Philly. I'm looking forward to that because you're right. It is such a nice mix. You bring, of course, your own solo material, and then it just kind of segues into the band, and you can see how tight you guys are. And I follow you on Facebook, so I see that you do play a lot of these different gigs in these different formations of these same guys as you go around, and it's cool how you all fit together so well.
Yeah, thanks. It's sort of a little, one big happy family, as it were.
How did you guys meet? I mean, how did that all come together? I know you've all been in the same scene, but when did you decide that this might be good, that we can work together?
Basically, I knew of Steve and was a fan of the band for a very long time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and it wasn't really until we started doing the In the Pocket gigs together, Dave Osickman's In the Pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Steve kind of was doing some lineup thing and rearranging, and asked if I'd want to do some gigs. I'm like, sure, and kind of worked really well. But yeah, we got to know each other doing that, and then we did a version of Todd Rundgren's I Saw the Light, and Steve was on that one, and it's just, I'm such a fan of his playing, and so I was honored when he asked me to do some shows.
Well, speaking of being honored, today is a very special day in your career, and I'm honored that you're on this show to talk about it and promote it, because today is the day that the Love Not War EP was released.
Yes, available digitally everywhere.
Nice. Yeah, and tomorrow is the official record release party for it?
Yeah, tomorrow will be World Cafe Live in Philly upstairs, and I will have CDs available at shows. And I think I'm arranging, because it's kind of, I have a sort of a very loose arrangement with an indie label called Tallboy Records. My friend Anna Borg runs that, and I believe she'll be selling physical copies of CDs, and definitely I have a 45 coming out in April of the song Love Not War and The Buddha's Belly, and that will be available. Those will both be available on Tallboy Records.
Nice.
But today is officially the iTunes and whatever your preferred method of digital download service, and Spotify and all that.
That's so exciting. How long did the EP take to come together for you? I know I heard a couple songs back in October, but how long have you had these songs floating around?
Yeah, most of these songs were written sort of in the past. Well, I guess it's been, I started kind of working on stuff just after I put the last record, EP, whatever you want to call it, out, Song Machine.
Yeah, I love it.
There's a song or two that had been written that didn't make it on there. But then basically over the last year, I was hoping to actually kind of had a writing spurt over the past year, and wanted to try to knock this out and just get it out by this past fall, but it didn't work out. But it worked out probably inadvertently better because I put the song Love Not War out in the fall, and got a little bit of bite with it with XPN, giving it some spins, and Sirius XM's The Loft, and
nice.
Just getting people to hear it. And so then that was sort of an advance release to the EP, which I'm very psyched for people to hear.
Well, I love it, and that's what we started today's show off with, Love Not War, the title track.
Yeah.
And you have a video on the homepage of your website, cliffhillis.com.
Yeah, my friend Scott Sachs, who's a fine singer-songwriter. We've written a number of songs together, but he's become videographer as well. So that was sort of his the Scott Sachs vision for the song. He's talking me into. I remember sent him the song and said, hey, you have any thoughts? He said, well, what do you think about and it's all very subtle, but
Yeah.
like, what about, I picture you with like some lipstick, like a girl's kissing you, and like a black eye, getting punched in the face. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it worked out pretty well.
Oh, it worked out great. It looks really good.
Thank you.
We live in such a fantastic age, where you can have creative people like this who can do videos like that. And of course, you're making the music and you're getting your music out there. I mean, that's unheard of 25 or 30 years ago. You'd have to wait to get some kind of label recognition of some kind and then hope that radio will play it. And then are you ever going to have money to make a video to get it out there on MTV? But now it's all just,
you
can surround yourself with creative people and do it.
Yep, absolutely. It's a crazy. I mean, things move a lot quicker these days, and yeah, just pretty much anything is possible. It's kind of crazy.
Now, when did you get started? How long have you been doing this?
Many years. I mean, I was a little kid. I had bands with my brother. I grew up in Delaware, down at Rehoboth Beach.
Oh,
and
nice.
I born in Wilmington, Delaware, but then when I was a kid, I moved down to Rehoboth Beach, and it was a really great place to grow up. And early on, started playing guitar, and I was playing around in bands with my brother for a number of years. But then, that evolved into playing with. We still play together every once in a while, but I played in a number of bands. A band called Starbelly from Baltimore, and with John Fay from Philadelphia from the John Fay Power Trip, which became Ike, and a bunch of other things too along the way.
So growing up there, was it similar to the vibe in New Jersey where a lot of people, living by the shore, there's a lot of bands that, you get a lot of work because you can play at those seashore bars and things and clubs, especially during the tourist season. Is that what Delaware is like for you when you were coming up?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It was funny because when I was growing up in Rehoboth, it's changed. It's a lot more people there now, just the way sprawl goes and all that. But it was really a ghost town, in the winters. But yeah, it was, a lot of restaurants, bars, and places to play. And it was interesting because I definitely, when I started, played a bunch of covers, and I was always trying to write songs from early on. It took me a while to kind of do it where I felt like actually pretty good about the songs I wrote. But we always kind of we're doing our thing. But it's funny. There was a point at which I was determined to just be a songwriter, and I was like, well, I can go play the covers, and people, probably make more money right now and get and play gigs, or I can just go and travel and go up to New York and Philly and try to do some showcase gigs. And so I kind of went that route.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we're in such a nice location here. I'm up a little farther north from where you grew up. I'm in Bethlehem, so I'm about an hour, an hour north of Philadelphia. Have you ever come through here? We have a lot of different places to play. Yeah.
I played. I did a slot for the music fest this past time around.
Did you really? Nice.
Yeah. And I wish I'd been able to thought about it and gotten in touch with you. But yeah, I did the singer-songwriter stage, and I played once at the Steel Stacks there in the building there, in the kind of the Commons or whatever.
Oh, I love it. That's my backyard. I'm up in Fountain Hill, which is just about 10, 15 minutes up from there. But that Steel Stacks campus is my. I love it there.
Cool. Yeah, it's really, really wonderful setup, and man, a lot of great music they have through there.
Well, my grandfather was a steel worker here, like a lot of the guys from his generation, but it didn't close down until the mid-'90s, so that was a functional steel mill.
Oh, wow.
The first half of my life, so...
I didn't really, okay, I didn't realize it went that long. That's
it did.
Cool.
94, 95, I think, is when they stopped production completely in Bethlehem, but...
Wow.
So you had the noise and the smoke and it was you didn't think anything of it, but it's a functioning steel mill, and then it was falling apart there. When they pulled out, it started to rust and deteriorate, so when Arts Quest came in and bought that and built that campus up, my God, it's wonderful.
Pretty cool, pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So I see you have some dates coming up. We talked briefly about the one in World Cafe Live. You're also playing in Cape May tonight at Congress Hall.
That's right, the Cape May Singer-Songwriter Fest. And I'm really psyched because I've played it a couple of times before, and, it's just basically, a music festival, but basically, revolving around singer-songwriters. And I'll be opening for Jill Sobule, who I'm a big fan of. She's the keynote speaker.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I know
and
her.
Then performs. Yeah, and I love her stuff. And I played a show with her, but I don't really know her. But we have a bunch of mutual friends, so really looking forward to that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll be opening for her set for that.